What's up with it, my APA family, man? You already know who it is, man. Your boy L, APA, coming through with another video. You guys already know what I'm here for, man. Trying to deter the youngsters and the reoffenders from going into the prison system or from going back, right? And, as always, man, you can tell by that one now, right? That caption, that good old thumbnail. Today, we're going to talk about a little bit of what effects drugs has on people that barely go into the system, the camaradas, the little homies, the youngsters, the first termers. And I wanted to talk about this because I've had my struggles with addiction. I've been blessed enough to be clean for years now, and as far as hard drugs, and I think this is a topic, man, that I don't think I've heard anybody speak on it. Me personally, I'm pretty sure somebody has touched on it, but not that I recall. Or then again, I don't really watch too many channels. But nevertheless, it's rehabilitation from that disease takes repetition. It takes practice. It takes, like I said, repetition. You have to repeat it over and over, and you have to have some cognitive solutions amongst other solutions for you not to relapse, right? And even on that point, you're still gonna have to fight for the rest of your life with this disease. I call it a curse. It's very well both, easily both, you know. So let me elaborate a little bit on what I mean. I could definitely talk about people out here on the streets, fentanyl, heroin, meth, crack, cocaine, all the big drugs, right? And what I wanted to emphasize was the in prison. You know, there's an abundance of drugs in prison. Everybody knows it. Ain't nobody saying something that's not already known. It makes the prison system go round. Um, 90 Without having any hard statistics at hand, I want to say that a good 80 to 90% of individuals in there either use or have used before in prison. I want to say maybe about 30% went in as heroin addicts, or at least having done heroin, or heroin being the choice of drug on the streets. But there's been dudes that have gone in there that were strung out on the streets and they stayed clean for years. Even though it was on the yard, they never touched it because they knew that if it get in debt, they could easily be stabbed off the yard. Then eventually they'll have to PC up if they dig too much of a big hole. And a lot of individuals have done that, you know. And there they have that $200 limit. Um, if you get 2 weeks to pay. After that, you get red flag. Once you get red flag, start doing burpees. And if you're not making payments, they're gonna come get you eventually. And if it's hot money, meaning organization money, then you're gonna get stabbed and you're still gonna owe. If it's a regular camarada's money, you get stabbed, you paid with blood. That's how it goes. But not the organization members' money. That doesn't go away. You still have to pay that. But they do give you chances to make payments and things like that. As long as the homies, not all the homies are trying to break you, man. They're trying to build you up to make you and rehabilitate you. So they let you make payments. Obviously, you have to have some sort of discipline, do some burpees, things like that. And as long as you stay clean, you're straight. You know what I'm saying? Um, I told stories on dudes in there that got strung out and burned one of the organization members after the organization member helped him, gave him about a gram to pay off his debts, even let him not pay double. Because if you pick up dope in prison, and if you want to pay back with dope, you have to give back double at the very minimum. And that's only if that dude will accept it. But if an organization member says you're going to accept it, you're going to accept it. And not only that, not only did he help him out with the gram, but he told these dudes to let him know that the organization member said, he doesn't have to give double to get him out of trouble, because it was a huge fuck up, man. He just didn't learn. So he told him, look, whatever you owe him, pay him exactly that in dope. for this once, tell them it's it's on me, pretty much. Like for me, I say so. And the homie's like, hell yeah. The homie Kim told me, I was like, feed me, it's good shit. And what did he do? He took the gram to the neck. And anywho, for those who remember that story, I'm not here to tell that story, but it just highlights the viciousness of this drug, and it takes a hold of you. But this is the most important part of this video that I wanted to highlight. Like I said, 30% of dudes come in there having used heroin. Now, if it's at 80 to 90%, what does that tell you? A lot of dudes, the majority of dudes, try heroin in prison for the first time in their life. There is very few dudes that I've seen in prison that don't use that shit, that don't get high. The other ones are on meth. Meth, but also it was getting dudes paranoid, and dudes were locking it up for no reason, this and that. So the homies banned that shit. But there were still dudes, you could sell it, but you couldn't use it type shit to other races. But the homies would still fuck around with that shit. That was never my drug of choice. I actually despise that shit. But unfortunately, my curse was heroin. So I've never made it a secret. You guys know my story. Um, but like I said, I wanted to highlight the youngsters that come in, man. Dudes that have never touched that shit. They go in there nice and healthy. And there's dudes in there, man, cellies that are grimy. Not all of them are grimy, but some of them are grimy. They get a celly like that. He's clean. He gets packages. His family takes care of him. He gets visits and everything. And they see an opportunity, and they offer him that shit. The youngsters that don't know better are seeing him there. Oh yeah, all smack back, having a good time, whatever. And obviously, if he has a long ass time to go, or even if he doesn't, he wants to fit in. He wants to fit in. He wants to have a good time. So then, inevitably, hey, let me get some of that. And obviously, Sally's gonna be like, yeah, hell yeah, come on. Because if he gets him strung out, guess who's gonna supply their high? That the youngster whose family takes care of him, whose family is now gonna have an addict, and gonna have to spend their hard-earned money to send him money, packages, and inevitably, when his habit gets too out of control, they're gonna get a phone call saying, if you don't send this money now, they're gonna kill me, or they're gonna stab me, or they're gonna do this, or they're gonna do that. And what's the family to do when they can no longer send money? Yeah, they have it decent. Yeah, they can send you a package. Yeah, you know, they'll go visit you. Yeah, you get some canteen. But for a family that's well on their feet, regular, not rich or anything, there's nothing to them. They love you. They want to take care of you. But when you start asking for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, even thousands, nobody can sustain that unless you're fucking rich. Nobody. And these are the type of things that happen in there, man. I've seen homies in there that were sober, vibrant, healthy. Months later, I seen them on the yard trying to pick up a paper, trying to fucking getting removed, getting stabbed off the yard, picking up from other races, getting messed up for that. And then what does the Sally do? Oh, that's on him. That's his debt. You know, all bad. Sally's that got them to use. But my biggest one is the family. The family's the one that suffers the most. The family's the one that has to sit there and stress out. I couldn't even imagine a mom's pain. Can't probably not even be able to get good sleep to go to work the next morning because she's so worried that she doesn't know where she's gonna get the money to pay her son's debt because he's gonna get killed. I've seen it happen, and it's tragic. And it's something that I wanted to highlight for anybody out there that has kids, whose kids are asking for green dots, things like that. I know there's gonna be homies be like, "Hey, homie, too much light on this." Hey, nah, bro. The only ones that'll say that are the ones that are strung out. They're gonna be mad at the fact that yeah, but it's not always a fair thing. I get it, man. I get your struggle. It is what it is. Try to shake it. And with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. I thought it was an important point to make. A lot of homies go in there not being drug addicts and they become heroin addicts because that shit's so abundant in the prison system and they're doing time. I don't even blame them to a certain extent. They're doing time. You know, there's let me say this part too. There's homies that have gotten their cellies started, but they told their cellies several times, "No, bro, you don't want to use this, no, because it's a curse, no, hell no." And they didn't want to let them. But at the end of the day, there's good homies too. And at the end of the day, their cellies a grown ass man, maybe a youngster, but he's an adult and he's in prison. And you could only say no so many times, but at least they tried. That being said, man, remember, man, one life saved is one life blessed. That's our mission. A smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. APA, I'm out.